Okay. Can I just say, this was the best episode of Below Deck that I've seen in almost a year and a half.
It really was. It really was. It was a very good. I'm
better
very
than
excited.
all of last season of Below Deck. Better than most of Below Deck Med.
I'm going to go on record and say better than all of Below Deck Med. Even crazy Lexi Satan, she was entertaining, but everybody else was just kind of normal. I don't know where they found these people.
No, this is mostly what the show's like. This is mostly what old Below Deck was like. Fun, people.
Somebody throwing up the first night. Y'all, Tom is poodle. Because when
I'll let you tell the story.
When Poodle and I, y'all, this is reality games.
This is reality games. This is Below Deck Sailing Yacht, BDSM. I mean, BDSY.
No, that's what you're doing tonight. Which is why
BDSMY.
Yes, which is why the Poodle was yelling at me to start earlier, and he didn't know what to start with.
I gotta go get my GIMP mask on
because he's got a pup mask tonight, and he needs to get laid. See, y'all, he says he's busy. I know the difference when he actually has stuff to do and when he actually is having a date tonight.
No, I just want to get up. I don't want to get up the phone with you.
So you're not having a date tonight?
No, I just need to do my own stuff.
See, this is what happens when Poodle
to do.
Yeah, when you have a vacation from me, sorry, my dad died and I gave you all this time off. And now you have to put up with me again.
It was not time off. I was handling all of our stuff here. Trust me. It was not time off.
But no, so y'all, if you're listening, that I was kind of thinking, I told Poodle, I said, Below Deck needs to shape up or it's shipping out and we're not going to cover the show anymore. I think it might have.
That was a good pun. That was very appropriate.
I think
shape up or ship out.
Yes, I think it is played its hand, and I think But so yeah, Poodle was when we taught at a summer camp in Massachusetts years ago. Y'all, imagine me and this is our friend. Her name was Ricky. She doesn't talk to us anymore now because she's likes Rick Santorum and all that shit. But she. That's true.
She recruited both of us. She recruited me.
She recruited me. And you were her and I had already been there a year. So we were coming back our second year
vouching for me.
Telling everyone, hey, our friend Jake, she was the head of the motherfucking voice department. She's like, our friend Jake, he's great. Our friend Jake. We go out the first night and Poodle pulls a Tom and just gets...
I did. I got blasted. I threw up on a doorknob.
No, not only did he throw up on a doorknob.
Hall.
I heard him. We are all sleeping in this annex, and there's this long hallway, and I hear someone get up and kind of mumble and go, "Oh God!" And then he doesn't make it to the bathroom, and he completely throws up on someone's door, and you're like, "Boom! Splash!" I'm laying in bed, going, "I'm not getting up. I'm not getting up. I'm not getting up. I'm not getting up."
Later on, someone said, "Yeah, I picked up my door," and you said, "Did I wake you?"
Yes, it was Joy, the Italian woman, because I hear her say, "What is going on?" And you're like, I hear he was like, "Oh, did I wake you? I'm so sorry." And then not only did Jake throw up, but Jake didn't know the person who ran the entire camp
was underneath.
Who was a raging psychopath, was underneath there. And she's like, "So I heard someone vomit last night." And she asked, and Jake was completely called out.
Like the next day, they had to like talk to me if I was, they had to do a Glenn to Tom.
So when he was on that top bunk and telling the captain, "I feel sick," and having to crawl on the captain's bed to get to the bathroom, I went, "Oh, I know this."
Triggered. I was triggered completely. Y'all come at me if the first night of orientation you've been that girl.
Yeah, just show your ass.
The first night you haven't even started, and you basically show up and say, "P.S. I'm messy."
P.S. I'm a hot mess. That's Poodle.
That's me.
You could put that in the little Poodle book.
Yeah, I'll show up just before you even know me. I'm gonna make you think I'm a gross mess. But no, I really enjoyed this episode. This is called Tomfoolery.
Tom
Foolery.
Foolery, because Tom, yes.
Quick before we start, you guys.
Oh yeah,
We have a live show in Los Angeles on Sunday. This should go out today, I believe. It should.
Yeah, this is going out today. It's this in our class list, and yes, we have a live show in LA. So I mentioned you didn't know
Sunday.
this. Yeah, I put in a blurb in our last 90 Day Fiancé show because we forgot to do it, so I just did it myself. But we will be talking about, if you're coming to the Sunday show, if you can, watch 90 Day Fiancé on Sunday on Discovery Plus, because we are going to be talking about that episode.
And yes. I put it on all of our Instagram stuff. So
yeah, so I think everybody knows
are aware.
Yeah, they're aware.
If they're not, there will be like that chick who at the last LA show on a Sunday night, when we said, we're talking about this episode of Discovery Plus. Oh.
She said, I said, did anybody not watch? And she said, I didn't. And I was like, I can't help you, honey. So
not much happens.
No. Katie and Kimberly from
Kimberly. Not from 90 Day. One we would actually like to know.
From Date with Dateline are going to be joining us. So we're excited about that. So we're going to be doing some special things for that.
It's going to be really fun. We're already working on things we're doing together. I've enjoyed going back and forth with them about it.
Yes. And Poodle and I were just planning on, we're buying flights and everything for Portland and Seattle on March 11th and March 12th. Hey, we're going to post this on Instagram, but Philadelphia, low ticket warning. Whoop, whoop, whoop.
Yeah. Philly people, Philly Flyers really want to see us.
I think we have only 15 tickets left for that. It was like 10 or 15. So not a lot of tickets left for the Philadelphia show. And for Los Angeles, there are tickets available. And some of you asked if you could upgrade to VIP. There are still VIP tickets available for that. I looked
last time because there must have been some cancellations, because as of 2 weeks ago, there weren't any.
Oh, there weren't any. So it could have, I looked like 3 days ago, there was 2. So they could have been bought again.
Okay.
I don't know. Good luck. So I think that's it. Anything else, Poods?
Not on this show.
Wow.
Wow. I just want to say again, fantastic to see. I'm happy. I haven't watched a ton of this. I haven't watched any of season 1. I actually tried to watch season 1 when it first came out, and I hated it. So I stopped watching it. But then everyone said, you must watch season 2. It's a completely different ride. You'll love it. And they were right. I've seen 2 or 3 episodes of season 2. We have 3 returning people, 3 veterans, and they were actually the people I liked most.
Oh, good.
Which is nice. We have returners, of course, Captain Glenn, who is just like low key, regular. He's kind of like if your boss was also your uncle, not your dad, but he's your good natured uncle who still wants the best for you.
See, he reminded me of
Please don't be an Oklahoma person. Please don't be an Oklahoma person.
No, it's not an Oklahoma person at all. It's actually a coach that I knew from Medill, but he ended up coming to Oklahoma because y'all, we had Coach Fulks, and he was terrible, and he was really mean and kind of maniacal. But he reminded me of Coach Warner, and Coach Warner, he was kind of like that coach that he was the one coach in Southern Oklahoma, or at least I ever had, that didn't care about winning and actually wanted people to have a good time, and he was kind of like, fuck it. You never have that with a coach in the South.
No, I've never experienced that.
So the Captain Glenn reminds me of Coach Warner. I think a lot too, because Coach Warner didn't have one eye, so he got made fun of a lot, but he was a good coach. We never asked why. We think it was a Vietnam War thing, but that's just what we had made up.
Did he wear a patch or a glass eye, a la Sandy Duncan?
He wore a patch. He wore he wore sunglasses a lot too. Because he said the patch would give him a headache, and sometimes if we like this was I was very young.
You'd get used to it by then.
Well, but if we did the plays right, this was basketball. When I played basketball as a kid, I was just a fat kid in a basketball suit that was too tight.
That's an image.
I know, and so we were running around. But if we did the drills right, he would open his flap and we could see in his eye.
You know what this reminds me of? When you shot the werewolf in the eye. That's how you get them.
Gary
Busey.
Y'all, that's we got a Gary Busey lookalike on Love is Blind, which the finale comes out tomorrow.
And you'll hear me doing weird Gary Busey.
Weird Gary Busey. So I think this is my take. I think one reason why this season seems like it's good is because y'all leadership, aka messiness, starts at the top. And Gary and Daisy both seem very nice, but they also seem like big whores, like we are.
Daisy, not as much. Here's
I
the
mean
thing.
that in a positive way, y'all.
Yeah.
We love whores. I'm a whore. Poodle's a whore.
But here's the thing. Both Gary actually, I've watched tons of this, so maybe there's some other stuff I saw. I've only seen a couple episodes of season 2. We will go back and watch them, you guys. But Gary is super messy and like looks like he probably smells and a little dirty and is just. But he actually knows what he's doing and he helps people. He's by no means just all talk.
He's just a party guy, though.
He's fun to watch, though. He's just really funny.
He's one of those guys who is going to be. He's way too tan now, and now it looks good on him. But in like 10 years, he's going to look old.
He's going to look like a saddlebag.
Yeah.
Daisy had run into a little bit of in season 2 of they had like chefs from hell in season 2. They had fucking Adam. And the one who didn't work out before that, they did not have good luck, and she's just not used to that. And she's very professional. She holds them to a very high standard, and she's fun because she's Irish,
which means she drinks a lot.
She drinks. The girl likes to have fun, but so she can also have fun. And then I love Colin. I like Colin. Colin is kind of like. The kind of responsible adult on the boat.
We don't get an engineer too. This is my first. I haven't had a below deck where an engineer has been a cast member.
It's only on Sailing Yacht.
Okay, so it's only on Sailing Yacht. I'm also interested in you might not care, but I just love the intricacies and the differences of what they have to do in sailing, and I also love that people are falling all the time.
Oh yeah, it's breathtaking when they're out on the water.
Y'all, I've been sailing. I went sailing with my cousin who lives in Riverside. This was years ago when I was like 15 years old, and we went sailing in like the Catalina Bay or wherever it is, by Catalina, because they lived in California. And it's scary if you're not used to sailing.
Yeah, you'll kind of like go almost under the water. It's so exciting though when you're doing it.
Now I would know and be prepared, but it's freaky because when you go turn to the side, like the end of the boat is almost under the water.
But you don't like being close to ocean water either. You get kind of freaked out.
I don't love it. But I'll do it. I don't freak out. I'll do it. So anyway, I'm excited for that. Can we talk about the new people, or particularly can we talk about one new person in particular?
Yes, sure.
Chef Marcos, everyone.
Oh, holy fuck.
Now, I know everybody's going to say Tom is the hottest guy.
No, fuck that. Give me Marcos.
Y'all, Marcos would like fuck you and then put like honey in his fingers and like put it in your mouth while he's fucking you. And you would go like, yes, I'm your little
I have my own personal like water for chocolate. And he's just like feeding me like mole. And I'm just going... and guitar music be playing in the background.
Wow, that was
really. He just feed me canapes in bed, and I'd just be covered in aioli.
He runs a food truck in LA. We need to go to his food truck.
We need to stalk his food truck.
We need to stalk his food truck, y'all. This guy is fucking hot.
Venezuelan, Italian. Ooh. I can already tell you. He got a thick dick.
It's a thick dick.
THIC.
Yeah, he does. Thick dick. So,
thick dick.
So that's Marcos. He's a chef. There's Gabriella. She's a stew. She seems she's nice.
And
she's
Ashley they're both green. They're both pretty green. That's why I'm a little worried that Daisy's going to have her work cut out for her.
Although we'll talk about it later, but I really like Gabriella because she's got the way she handled herself this episode.
She stood up for herself with that fucking creeper at the end.
Yeah, I like her a lot. So Ashley is just, again, it's kind of
thirsty
hard.
As shit, man.
Well,
ugh.
Yeah, I mean, but
No, she wants to be on TV. This
We're
is
gonna-
someone who wants to be on TV.
we're going to talk about Ashley though later because she did have a poodle when Poodle was in his
But
20s moment.
Even you know
No,
what? I would have done
see,
this.
that whole thing. She's like, it's just one kiss, just one. You have literally used that line on people.
Maybe. Yeah, but I can look back now and say I was thirsty as the Mojave.
Yeah.
So I get it. So there's also on that's both interiors. And then there's Tom, the young boy from the north of England, from the north.
His name is Tom.
And he's perfectly blonde and looks like he should be out herding sheep.
He
honestly.
does.
He's got one of those Game of Thrones accents because they all sound like they're from the north of England.
Yeah, and he looks like Game of Thrones. Like, yeah, that's what. Yeah.
And we also have Kelsey, who's American. And I don't know if you guys remember the Below Deck season. She looks like Aisha to me. If you remember Aisha, who's on Below Deck Down Under with the hottest captain in the world.
He is.
He is hot.
By the way, that brings up a good point, y'all. We might do it as a Bi-Curious now, but probably
it's possible.
Time-wise, it's only on
Peacock.
It's only on Peacock Network. It's streaming, so we're not going to be covering that right now.
We might go back and do it. It's just too much.
Y'all, what they're doing a lot, at least they're doing this on TLC. I wouldn't be surprised. They'll put it on streaming first, and then they'll put it on Bravo later, like when they have a break. So that's probably when we'll do it. Is when it's on Bravo proper.
That is what streaming. The networks that have popped this. TLC has done that with,
and they're doing that Pig Royalty. Pig Royalty's on the network.
It's on Animal Planet now.
Y'all, if you don't have Discovery Plus, you fucking record Pig Royalty on your TiVo.
Oh my God. It is so fucking good.
It
was my favorite show of 2021. My favorite reality show.
That's great.
Yeah.
Agreed. Actually, my favorite too. Yeah.
Nugget. Has there been my favorite? Nugget. And then Michelle Bolero. And one of the best reality villains. And the Wrens. Oh my God. I love them.
I think it's Reen.
Wrens. I think I can.
It's
I think you're right. Wrens.
It should be pronounced Ren, but where I'm from, y'all say Reen.
Well, it actually should be Reen because it comes from German.
Yeah.
So it should be Reen in German.
There you go.
No one needed to know that.
No one needed to know that.
Here's another fact that you didn't ask for because I'm going to tell you something.
They were trying to get they're doing a GoFundMe, aren't they?
I gave them some money. I think I gave some money from us.
Oh, good, because I would do that.
They were trying to get Manu to have his second summer because he's not an exchange student anymore. They were going to try to bring him over for his second summer of pig showing.
Oh, I hope they do that.
I really wanted because he was such a good kid, and they really just wanted them, and they missed him terribly.
They did. While we're doing this is a little bit. I think that's everybody, right? Did we talk about everybody on the boat?
That's it. Of the crew.
Great. I also want to remind people we're going to put this on our Instagram, but I promise this casting, y'all, Big Brother is casting again, and I'm saying that because I'm trying to get Poodle to do it. Have you done it yet?
No, I haven't. I'm going to do it tomorrow. I promise. I'll
make you do it on the plane to Portland.
Okay. All right.
Y'all, other people can apply too. We'll post something on our Instagram and Twitter, but now's the time to apply. Maybe you'll be in the house with Poos.
Maybe you'll be in there with me, and I'll destroy you. Let me tell you, y'all, I'm what they would call a somewhat competitive person.
You are.
I don't like to lose. I'm also good at in a way of making people think I'm non-threatening who don't know me.
You are.
And then I kind of get in your bloodstream, and then I turn people against people, which is great for Big Brother.
It's true. Yeah. I'll put the link to that in the show notes, y'all, of the guy's Instagram that you can apply and do that. And I don't really know him that well. He just asked, and I think he asked because I always said Jake needs to be on the show. So I guess I need to tell them.
My only thing that makes me reticent is being in the same place with 3 months with the same people for 3 months.
That's what makes me happy.
and I can't fuck any of them.
Exactly. I'm just
Oh,
gonna.
you'd be happy because I'd be away for 3 months.
Yes,
Who would be on the show?
Oh, I would get so. I would totally rebrand the show and do an entire. It would become just a totally just like touchy, feel good self
And you know
help
what?
show, and you would hate it.
It would become a show that had no structure at all.
We would just talk about whatever. We talk about the show for 3 minutes, and then
Nope.
yes, and
Y'all,
then
you would miss me. You would miss me desperately after 1 week. I promise you, it would be actual chaos.
Oh God, maybe you could sneak and do the podcast. No, you couldn't. You get kicked off.
Yeah, I'd get kicked off. You can't have any contact with the outside world. I don't know. I'll still apply. I feel like if I get in there, it could only help the podcast. So
yeah, sure.
But
again,
y'all,
I want you to be the more famous one. I want you to be so famous and help our show.
Be famous.
And I just want to like do whatever I want.
Oh, great! So you want me to handle all the
because you'll get messy.
I will get messy.
Anyway, all right. Sorry, y'all. I haven't seen Poodle in a while.
I just want to say, I know we haven't. I want to just say one thing about, we're talking about Big Brother. The Celebrity Big Brother ended last night, and Misha Todd won. And if you've been watching, you know what a complete and utter just spectacle Todrick Hall made of himself on that show and his gameplay. And he's canceled all his public appearances.
Oh, really?
Because he came in second. Yeah, it was bad. And you should, when I didn't watch the whole thing, but I watched him telling you that all the cast guys were like, the way you behaved on the show is not the way I want to teach my kids to behave. It was brutal, but he was terrible on the show. He was absolutely diabolical.
Who's Misha Todd?
I think she's a wrestling person. Am I wrong? I don't know.
Good for her. All right, sorry, back to the show. We'll talk to the show now, y'all. Sorry. So the way we do Below Deck, y'all, is that
martial artist. Sorry.
We have teabags, so we don't go through the show chronologically. This could always change if the show gets really good. We honestly did this because there wasn't that much in these episodes because they were boring. So, but this was a lot. I still like. We
started doing them because there's not a ton of chronological stuff to say. Otherwise, it feels like we're just narrating. Yeah. And you guys, and I think it's great when recaps do that. That's not for us. We don't do that. We do that a little bit for 90 Day, but mostly because 90 Day is a microscopic view of people's relationships. And so this is much more about plot and what happens.
Yes.
And honestly, we're not concerned about that. We're concerned about the ridiculous things we want to talk about. We're just things that interest us.
Yes, exactly.
Anyway, I think we're ready to start, and it's 23 minutes into the show.
Well, we started already. We talked
about the cast.
We had a little interstitial in there. They can fuck off. Enjoy. I miss Poodle. I haven't seen him.
That's right. So, we haven't seen anybody either.
No, we had a couple of days off. Anyway, and y'all, I'm in LA, but I'm quarantining right now, just to make sure I didn't get the COVID at my dad's funeral, and then hopefully I'll see Poods tomorrow.
Because ain't nobody wearing a mask in Ardmore, Oklahoma.
Even though we asked on the door, but nobody wore a mask.
Oh, really? You even said it?
Yes, we asked, but it was just me, my boyfriend, and then my sister-in-law who works for the Department of Health, and then the woman that I know that runs the Gay Pride. She wore one,
and everybody else is like, "Fuck masks."
And Darla said, "I can't breathe in them. Well, I just can't breathe."
You also can't breathe when you're dead from COVID.
Exactly.
So anyway, I want to just what is your first teabag now that we've talked about casts?
Well, my first teabag was Marco, but I already kind of brought that up. Okay. That he lives in LA.
Marcos.
Oh, I wrote it wrong. Oh, you know what happens when I write things wrong?
I know you'll always say them wrong. Great.
Okay, I my first teabag is going to be. Let's talk about. Everybody kind of shows up. The first thing kind of struck me was the crew meeting, the all crew meeting. That was very, very different than regular Below Deck, where, Captain Daddy is kind of laying down the law. And
I'll fire you as soon as I
as
can.
soon as I
Yeah.
can.
As soon as if you fuck up, you're fired.
And very different. Where Captain Glenn is, he's like, I'm excited. He said, just a couple of rules. He said, and y'all pay attention. He said, no drinking on charter, and let's work on our communication. Because I guess there was problems last season,
with
and that's
Daisy when the chef. Yeah, because
that's
none of the chefs didn't listen to Daisy.
No, and that's where Daisy said, "I want respect this season." She sounded a little crazy when she said that.
Yeah, but that's every chief stew. She's a little high strung, but she needs to be. It's a leaner crew, so it's smaller and a little bit more hands on.
I get that.
Yeah. She actually has a little more, in a weird way. She almost has a little more power. In this case, she's the ultimate hospitality person.
Yeah, that makes sense. It is y'all. It's a big boat, but it's still a way leaner crew, like just a smaller boat. But he's just very like, he's like, just don't want and then he says, but tonight y'all have fun. Don't get crazy. I don't want anyone drunk on the docks. So just remember that.
Sandy would say.
That's what I was going to ask you. What would Captain Sandy say, Poodle?
Everyone, I'm so glad to have everyone back. And I just want to say,
Captain Sandy, this is my first time here. I'm not coming back this year. I'm new.
Oh, then there's a lot to say. There's a lot to say about how we do things here. My number one rule is respect. My number one rule is respect. Okay. That means I need you to respect me at all times. And I promise I will do my best to respect you unless I see you with a vape pen. And then I'm going to chase you yelling at you. And I will say my other rule is leave me alone at night because that's when I'm watching St. Elsewhere.
Yes.
And Law and Order. And if you hear some buzzing, don't come a knocking.
Gong, gong. Yeah, gong gong. Gong gong.
No, she's ridiculous. She's so fucking full of herself.
Oh yeah.
Captain Glenn doesn't do any of that.
No.
He's not there to self-aggrandizement. No, I think he's becoming. I used to really love Captain Lee, but it's getting a little old for me. I'm like Captain Glenn all the way.
Now, is Captain Sandy not going to be on Below Deck Med?
They have not said. They have not.
Because we know that she's doing her ship tour.
And so,
we don't know if she's coming back or not.
Every time I say that, I die a little inside.
It's true. Okay, what was your first tea bag?
Mine is, where is it? Oh, I loved the moment where they're basically, where the stew meeting, where they were just kind of meeting, and Daisy's like, so you guys are both pretty at the same level of experience, but Gabriella, I see you've done a little bit more. And Ash is like, yeah, I have, with her little vocal fry. Ash is like, yeah, I have done that. Me too. I can't wait to like that. And Gabriella's like, yeah, I've just done a little bit more bartending. She's like, okay, so you're second and you're third. And y'all, Ashley's face. I
wrote this down too.
She's like, like just a shit look.
So this is what I was going to ask you about that. Do you think, because it's a very different, but we have had some cast members, I didn't really love them, on Below Deck who came in hot as like the party people, let me make out with people, but then they also were the people that were always, unhappy with shit. Is Ashley going to be that person?
100%.
I think she is too, y'all. She's going to be bitching that she's doing fucking laundry, because they even showed a clip of her saying, I want to be a chief stew one day and I want to be up serving drinks with people.
Even though Daisy has said everyone's going to do everything, you're going to be on night, so you will be dealing with people. She's going to be jealous of Gabriella from moment one. You already see her thirstiness. Y'all, she wants to be on TV. I promise you, that is her main goal. That was also Lexi's main goal, to be on television.
Didn't work for Lexi.
Yeah.
Satan came out in her, and she couldn't do that.
Anyway, so what's your? I just enjoyed that her face. What's your next one?
I'm gonna tell y'all my next tea bag. It's a classic.
Oh, before you do that, we should take a break.
I'm gonna tease. Yeah, I was gonna tease him, but you interrupted me and ruined it.
Sorry, I hate it. I hate teasing. I don't like it.
I love it. Get used to it.
I'm the tease here.
You know, that's funny you said that because y'all, when we get back, I'm going to have a tea bag, which is also, I think I'm going to have a lot of these. You know what? I'm going to call them classic poods. A classic poods moment when we come back. All right. Y'all, this isn't on video, so instead of asking for people to raise hands, I'm just gonna say, say I matey. If you've ever gone up to someone to interrupt a conversation or to potentially hit on someone and use the phrase, "Can I borrow a ciggy?" Say I matey.
I matey.
Y'all, this is a classic.
Done it.
Classic. Y'all, Poods did this
from a cig. Can I bum a cig?
From his early 20s
to move, y'all.
Early 20s to mid 30s. Do you know, y'all, I would be standing out here, you'd say, "Excuse me, can I borrow a cigarette?" And I would just turn and walk away because that means I need to leave what's about to happen.
It also means I've got my sights on somebody.
Yeah.
It means target acquired. Terminator. Target acquired.
Target acquired. They can stick it in now.
Approaching McDonald's at 3:30 a.m.
Boy.
I'd already planned that out too. Sometimes you're already thinking about your morning. You're like, need to cancel that because I'll need an extra 2 hours of sleep.
I'm gonna need to go get that McMuffin because I'm gonna need it.
Yep. Sometimes you need to know how long it's going to take to get them in bed too. Sometimes you got to get them. It's hard. You got to get them away from their friends.
Yep,
it's rough.
You do. When Tom said that, I laughed. Now, but what that brings up for me more, there's going to be this. Tom, do you think Ashley is going to build a love triangle between her, Tom, and Gary?
The only reason she did that with Gary is because she was drinking and she knew he liked her. And she said she probably thought he's got a cute accent. She's thirsty. She's just now I've got to say it was a little gross the way she did it. And she basically said they were up there, you guys, and he was like, Gary was talking to her and she was like,
well, they already were flirting in the room when they were making the bed and stuff too.
Right. And she's like, yeah, I love it. I think about things slapping a lot. Now that's even too far for me. I think that's
true.
That's
not true. Not true. I've seen you in your late 20s.
Seen you form.
I'll be honest. I've
more of a your line.
I've done that too.
Yeah, that's. I would think of something even more clever to say. But they're kind of talking, and he's like, they're up there. He's up there with her, and he's like, the problem is, my friend thinks you're cute. I'm not going to pursue you. And she's like, he's your friend, not your friend. You met him today, and it's just like, wow. That's cold even for me.
I think she's
done it, but
I think she's going to set up some type of love triangle because, y'all, she's a conqueror. She wants to conquer. And when she doesn't have the attention, she's not going to be happy. And it is going to piss her off because we saw scenes. It's going to piss her off when Daisy and Gary fucking make out. Y'all, because Gary is into Daisy.
I don't think so. I think they were really drunk.
But he said, he even said that night, like, you wanted to fuck me.
I think Gary wants to fuck everybody.
He does. Oh, he is walking herpes.
Yeah, he's definitely had everything from coast to coast.
Oh, yes. Oh,
and the weirdest thing is, to me, maybe I'm wrong, he's not that attractive. as far as South Africans go, he's down the list
I
of
haven't seen his
attractiveness
body
to
yet.
me.
I haven't seen his body yet, and I don't think his dick is that amazing.
It's not. He even says, "I've got a little dick." He even said that.
Yeah, well, I think we're going to say we need more evidence. We're going to talk about dick size in episode 2, y'all. We don't want to be crass in the first episode.
Yeah, what have I already said? What did we already say that was just revolting?
Oh, you just talked about a robot. It's zeroing in on people to fuck you.
No, there was something else even earlier. I can't even remember it.
Somebody's remembered.
But
what's your next teabag?
I want to talk about Tom's moment a little bit, where he's having a bunk with Captain Glenn, who's just sitting there reading Dan Brown on his iPad.
He is reading Dan Brown. He is reading Dan Brown.
He's just trying to read his Dan Brown.
Yes, he is.
Or James Patterson in peace.
Yes.
Let Captain Glenn read James Patterson.
Yes, or I bet he also likes the guy who wrote Jurassic Park.
Michael Crichton.
Michael Crichton, yes.
No, it's too edgy for him. He likes the mysteries.
Dead?
I don't think so.
Is he? I have to say, I'm not really into all these Jurassic Park movies because they scare me, but I am so excited that they're bringing back the old people for the new one.
Isn't it already out?
No, it's coming out like in the fall. It's the new one, and what's her name from
Laura Dern?
Laura Dern, and also the other guy, and they're all back.
Sam Neill, yeah,
except for the chubby one from Seinfeld because he died. Y'all remember? Don't forget that. But you do see that dinosaur is back.
I don't think it's the same dinosaur. Just.
No, it's not Emil, the killing from before.
The dinosaur asked for too much money.
He was like, "Look, my rider
family." He's become a mom. She's become a mom since then.
It's true. This is coming out in June.
It's not who I am anymore. The Velociraptor says.
Yes, it's not what I do.
I'm looking for other opportunities.
Oh, wow.
I can see it. Anyway, Tom, I was just talking about, he was basically saying, I'm going to be sick. And he's like climbing over Captain Glenn, puking. And he's like, I'm just going to stay here. I got to be where I'm low to the ground. I will say, his arms are amazing, Tom. He's been working on his body.
I think he has a nice body, but y'all, he can't stop looking in the mirror.
No, he loves himself a lot.
He loves himself a lot.
He not going to be a favorite.
No, he wants to be a reality star too, y'all.
Yeah.
Tom wants an OnlyFans. That's what Tom wants.
Yep. That's like everybody. He could have gone on Too Hot to Handle. Like easily.
Yeah.
He just rolled the dice.
Yeah.
What's your next one?
My next, well, we already talked about this, but it's when Gary called Ashley, "You're the naughtiest person I've ever met in my life." Poodle. If anybody's had someone say that to them, just say, "I, matey."
I, matey. They haven't said you're the naughtiest one. They've kind of looked at me with a little bit of fear in their eyes and says, "You're fucking dirty."
I love this show because I'm just able to read Poodle for Phil.
Like they didn't know what I was going to do. And I don't like to admit to this, but you're right. Someone did I said something so foul, like in the middle of some naked time. And the guy actually stopped what he was doing. He's like, "That's fucking filthy." And we got back to it. I'm all about the dirty talk, y'all.
I love dirty talk too. I'm all for it.
Oh boy. Sometimes I say things and I'm like, ooh, even me.
Now, we're watching so they all got pretty drunk, y'all. And finally, Tom is getting down. Captain Glenn, okay, this is where I was like, this is departure. Captain Glenn gets up and says, "Hey guys, you need to go to bed." And Daisy says, "Can we finish our beers?" And he says, "Nope. Everybody needs to go to bed now."
But he did it in a way that wasn't shaming.
I mean, can you imagine if this was Well, first of all, Captain.
Captain Sandy would have never gotten out of bed.
Oh well, no, she can't hear them because y'all Cagney Lacey plays all night while she sleeps, so she can't hear.
No.
She can't hear over it. But why am I blanking on his name? Captain
Lee.
Y'all, Captain Lee would have. Well, first of all, nobody would have slept in Captain Lee's cabin.
No, absolutely not.
But second of all, he would have completely lost his shit on these people.
Yep.
I was shocked at how nice. Again, Coach Warner never got upset when when he just nobody, no matter what, even if you messed up. We were younger when we were playing. One time, I'm not going to say. Well, his name was. It's a dumb name, but whatever. Oh, he had a kid. I can't believe I never said his name. His name was Leroy. So his last name was Leroy, and his first name was Lee.
What? Leroy?
Leroy. And so
like Lee or Lee Leroy.
Well, we called him Leroy. He moved away when I was in sixth grade. I don't know where he lives now. But anyway.
Good God.
Leroy ended up getting the basket, and he didn't get a lot, but he was so excited he went to the other team's side and shot the basket for them and made a point. And Coach Warner said, son, that was a good layup. Just do it on the other side, but you're getting your form. And that's kind of
God bless those children who score on their own goals.
God bless.
Let's take a moment and say a prayer for those children who score their own baskets because they're just trying.
This was in the 5th grade, though. You're old enough to know better.
He should have known better.
You're old enough to know better.
But I'm still too young to care.
He was younger, but that was kind of the way. Way Captain Glenn was about this. I mean,
a moment of silence for Leroy. Come on.
No, really.
I still don't believe Oklahoma's real.
No, I think he moved up to Pryor, so I don't know where he lives now.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, is it my turn? No, I think I just went.
Owita. I don't know where he moved.
It's not important.
Okay, sorry. Go ahead. Okay.
Is it my turn or your turn?
It is your turn. Go ahead.
I want to talk about dinner when the guests come in. Okay. You guys, let's just talk about the charter guests.
Yeah,
and it's a charter for kind of Black entrepreneurs and to celebrate their success. And everyone looks like they're having a really good time. The guests are having a great time. Marcos has got canapes that are knocking him out of the park instead of fucking cheese and crackers.
It looks really good.
And this chef seems to know what he's doing. And everything looks good. And the guests are loving it. Dinner's great. Now, at one point, the guests go, and there was a 4-course meal and everything was, and if you on a ship, they don't really give you, I will say they don't give you a ton of food, which is fine because you had appetizers and stuff beforehand. These guests still want food. Now, instead of losing their shit like Adam or some other chef would have, even Rachel probably would have lost her shit a little bit. And been annoyed. This chef went, okay, I'm going to make some shrimp. Sure thing. Here you go. He made some shrimp. They were fine. Because that's, and Daisy's like, thank you so much. It's great to have someone who doesn't blow up in my fucking face.
So this is what I was going to ask you. Do you feel like it's, see, normally I would say, the chef plans a meal and that's just kind of rude. But this, you've seen more seasons of this. Is that considered okay to do on this boat? Because I feel like maybe it is, because that's the whole point of this boat is you rent this charter, anytime you want, right?
You do what the guests ask. Doesn't matter. You can say, here's what I'm going to do. And then if the guests have other ideas, you're like, okay, let me change my plan. Because you're not going to get a good tip and you're going to get it's whatever the guest wants.
Yeah, because it's all about
as long as everyone's safe, as long as the guests aren't jeopardizing your safety.
Okay.
And you're there as the chef to make sure they're having the best possible time.
Yes.
So, I mean, it's happened before on Below Deck when the guests are still hungry, but it doesn't really matter it doesn't really matter to he's just like, oh, I got to do this. He doesn't get pissy about it. He's like, oh, okay, I'll
No.
do this. Good for Marcos, y'all.
Good for Marcos.
That's a feather in Marcos's cap.
Speaking of, I want you to look at the picture I just sent you from Marcos's Instagram.
Oh my. Oh, holy hell.
His Instagram, he doesn't have that many shirtless pictures, but when they are, you can't tell it. Y'all, he is brawny. He is a brawny man. Ooh, with some tattoos on him.
I'm about to excuse myself into an interior room. We need to finish this.
Okay. Kelsey's using her hair as dental floss.
I saw that, and that's going to divide the world. I was grossed out by it.
I was grossed out by this. And also, you know what I was more than grossed out? I don't think your hair is good dental floss. I
agree. It seems like it would break.
It seems like it would break. It seems like it's so thin and shiny. It's not going to clean out anything. It's not going to. It's not have a good coarseness.
I don't want to die on this hill, though. I'm sure there'll be people who say it's perfectly normal to do, but it's not for me.
All I have is what happened at the end, and then that's all.
Let's talk about this. I love y'all. The guests are having a great. The guests are having a great time.
Yeah,
everyone's in a great mood. It's good vibes only.
Yeah, the ladies are like, oh, it's good. They seem super fun. There's even the gay. Is he the same one that commented on how hot the guy was?
Earlier, yeah.
Oh, it was him. So all the women
everyone's
go to bed.
Having a great time, and everyone is that they kind of go to bed. It's the best charter guests, you guys, because they go to bed early.
Yeah,
and then this one creeper is there. Talking to Gabriella.
Mokoro, I think it's his name.
No, it was, I can't remember his name, but oh my God. Y'all,
He's the primary, though.
The primary. I got creeped out through the television.
It was gross. It was really gross.
And so he's taken to Gabriella and he's like, so what are you going to do after this? What do you got? Do you like anybody on the boat? It was such predatory behavior. And he's like, I don't even like girls, but there's something about you I like. Y'all, my skin started to crawl.
It was gross.
Just the way to talk to another person like this doesn't matter if they're there to serve you.
He even says like, I like men.
You're
I like
sexy.
Women. And she's like, yeah, I like whatever. And he said, I got a little dick. That's when I went, no, this is not shit you say to a charter person.
No, it's disgusting. This is when someone should have intervened, but hopefully Gabriella says, no, I got this. And you know what she said? She's like, I'm going to take this as an exercise to figure out how to tell people to respect me in this. And I was like, that's a great way to think about this.
That is now, if she wanted to tell the captain and get the people like get him kicked off the boat, I think she's well within her rights to do that.
But in this case, she's weighing it. She's weighing it. Yeah. And she's also, remember, this is her first charter. So
it is. Yeah. So anyway, I can't.
Women out there, and some men, but women out there who've been servers, you all know what she's been through. You all have experienced it. Men talk like that, and they think they can because they either sound like they have more money than you, or they think you're there to serve them, or it's a gross relationship. And he's of a certain age too, which puts him in that sweet spot. But it's all men. That's why heterosexual men are the worst. Sorry. And this guy's not even that.
They're Lord. Okay, well on that we're gonna go.
All men are terrible.
That I can get more behind. All right, everybody, that's the show. You can go to realitygaze.com. Come see us in Los Angeles at the Regent Theater. We're very excited to be there in 3 days.
With Dateline Kitty and Kimberly.
And maybe some other... I'm kidding. Nobody else is showing up. But
is anybody else coming?
Y'all, buy some merch. We're hauling those mugs there in Poodle's car.
Get your mugs.
Poodle's going to have to clean out his back seat of all his leather shit. So if he's got to clean all that out to haul merch...
If I've got to clean out that sex sling, the backup,
then the backup. That's work. So everybody,
two.
go to our Linktree link. That's where you can buy tickets. You can buy tickets for the LA show, for Portland, Seattle that are coming up. Remember, Philadelphia, Philly, those are selling out. The link is on our Linktree as well for that.
Philly boys.
You need to get your tickets now if you want that, everybody. All right, everybody, you can follow us on TikTok, Instagram. You know the deal. And until
you don't remember how to end the show.
I do remember this one.
Okay.
But y'all, we're excited that the season's going to be good. If you don't want to
I'm so heartened by this episode.
Too. If you don't want to listen to the show with commercials, you can subscribe to our Patreon or Supercast at the $8 tier, and you will be able to get those shows, all of our shows, commercial free for your pleasure.
Also, if you have been living under a rock, Love Is Blind season 2 is out on Netflix right now. Y'all, everyone's joining. You might as well just be on the bandwagon. Watch the show. We're doing it on our $5 Patreon. Join the cult. It's time.
It's so good. It's worth it.
Finale is tomorrow.
We do want to remind people, if you do subscribe to Patreon, the way their billing works, if you subscribe now at the end of the month, you charge now, and then at the first of the month, you're charged again because you pay by monthly. It's like a gym membership kind of a thing. Yeah. You don't pay, and it's not pro. That's how it is. So
I would say if you want to listen to Love Is Blind, subscribe on the first of the month.
Yeah, subscribe on that month. Yeah, whatever. I just don't want somebody who subscribes on the 25th and then sends us an email in 5 days. I'm going to be doing a live show. I'm cleaning out my dad's house. I don't have time. So that's how it works, y'all. Sorry. Just want to let everybody know.
That'll fall to me.
No, you're not emailing them either. We don't have time. They should have read the rules. It's on our Patreon. Yeah. All right, everybody. We're excited to talk about this show. We'll see you next week. But until then, everyone, it's Anchors Again.